No idea what we were doing. I was terrified that we were going to get screwed on the first few deals that we did, but we had zero desire of getting into fix and flipping. For us, it was all about bird strategy. We want to acquire rentals. That was the whole purpose of why we got into real estate in the first place.
Right.
Let's get the rentals. And now we've learned that we can expedite this and buy a bunch of rentals. So that year, I think we flipped 2 of them and sold 2 of them. And ended up keeping literally 21 properties that year, all as
That's
burr
amazing.
rentals.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
it was amazing until
some
it
of
wasn't.
it was
I'm blowing up.
So you guys started buying these deals. What were you doing with them? Were you wholesaling them? Were you fixing and flipping them? Did you have any construction knowledge? Like what about the logistical side of that?
Super easy, right? First flip was easy for you guys.
Neither of us knew how to screw in a light bulb when it comes to construction experience.
We still don't.
That's me
I have
right
a
there.
whole white collar family.
We are still our primary bedroom right now. We have like 2 light bulbs out. I'm like, is anybody going to get to that?
How do we get there? No, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, how do I get the right bulb? I don't even know.
I'm like, I tried 3. None of them fit. I give up. We're going to live in the dark.
Like, I'm not calling the crew over for this. No, so we had no construction experience. We had no idea what we were doing. I was terrified that we were going to get screwed on the first few deals that we did, but we had zero desire of getting into fix and flipping. For us, it was all about bird strategy. We want to acquire rentals. That was the whole purpose of why we got into real estate in the first place. Let's get the rentals. And now we've learned that we can expedite this and buy a bunch of rentals. So that year, I think we flipped 2 of them and sold 2 of them and ended up keeping literally 21 properties that year, all as
That's
burr
amazing.
rentals.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
it was amazing until it wasn't.
Some of it was by choice. The others we were kind of forced into it because of the market change. Like our very first deal, we bought it so deep where it could have been the perfect burr. Like we put the down payment down because we had a HELOC on our primary residence. So we used those funds to put the down payment down, and it just needed like a facelift. It was just very dated.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, we don't want to fix and flip, but if we want the highest return on this property as a rental, even, we just need to upgrade it, clean it up.
Yep.
New cabinets, new countertops, like very, very cosmetic, new floors, paint. How, if we're going to do a renovation on a first house, it might as well be this one because the margin for error is big.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that turned
house.
into a nightmare because then, they stripped down some walls, realized one of the sons was cooking meth in one of the bathrooms.
Oh,
and
my
That
gosh.
for you.
they would paint over the wall and we would come by and we'd be like, these crews are lying to us. They said the house is painted and it's turning this yellow color. And then they would say, no, we repainted it again. And we're like, why is it not the paint color that we chose? Like, you guys are lying.
Yeah.
And then we realized it's because of all the chemical in the walls.
Yep.
The paint wasn't even sticking because they were cooking all these like drugs.
That's
in that
wild.
bathroom.
You have to redo all the drywall?
Everything.
Yep. Yeah, I had to
Oh.
redo
So
all
we're
that
like,
stuff.
I guess we're gonna
That
have
was
to
a
learn
great
how to
learning
renovate.
experience. And there was still a fat spread on that house, which is really
That's great.
awesome.
Yeah. So, but it kind of forced us into that.
Yes, and I will say the next thing there too is we didn't get to ride the wave that everybody right before us was riding of getting all these
The COVID
awesome
wave.
rates and all that kind of stuff. Because in the middle of that renovation, which took 3 months, should not have now that I obviously know better, but that renovation took 3 months. And by the time we were wrapped up with it, rates had gone up to 7%. So we were still in the high 2s when we started it. And that's when the Fed boom, pulled the rug and that also hurt.
So we actually
my
listed
goodness.
a bunch of houses for sale. Like we had acquired a bunch, but again, didn't know how to properly manage contractors. We were finding like random GCs left and right who we didn't really know how to vet them. We were just starting to take chances. Didn't know how to, we couldn't tell if somebody was lying to us, whether this was good information, bad information, but we kind of put ourselves into this pickle and we were just like, well, we got to figure it out.
Right.
So that was part of the reason why we kept so many houses is because when the interest rates, skyrocketed overnight, it felt like our buyers just kind of stopped buying. Everyone was in this buying freeze for a period of time. And we're like, well, alrighty, I guess we're going to just have this fat rental portfolio.
Yeah.
And half of them were decent deals, but the other half, we were like, these are negative cash flow. They don't cash flow in this current,
They have large equity spreads. So they were still, for the most part, all perfect burrs, but it was just losing
The
a
cash
little bit
flow
of money.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
you stack, like 20 mortgages, that gets really stressful really fast.
Yes.
Really strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tell me about it.
Trust me, we know we've been forced into keeping property that just wouldn't sell during that pivot. I think every investor had to do that. You know what I mean? And people that are saying they didn't, they're lying.
Or
You know what
they're
I mean?
or they're not doing enough deals. But
Yeah.
Totally.
you know what I mean.
Well, and
Yeah.
then you get 6 or 7 vacancies. You get a couple AC units that go out. You do a
Yep.
couple things. Oh, I didn't update the plumbing in this house because I didn't know to, because I didn't have the experience to do that just
Yep.
yet. So all of a sudden, it wasn't just some vacancies that were hurting us. It was all the expenses. So we were
Yeah.
like,
All these
we got to
CapEx.
pivot to doing something
Yeah.
for active income, and that's really where it all shifted. For us being
Okay.
like, we really need to focus on fix and flips and just selling off properties. Let's sell off the ones that aren't performing. Let's get the equity out of those, and let's just keep this ball rolling and really primarily focus on the active income, and then just start acquiring here and there a rental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
that's
we're
what I was going
still.
to say. Like, you guys were forced into a pivot, but do you obviously, so the market shifted and that's what caused you to pivot and focus on the active income. So fix and flip. So is that your current strategy now? Is that what you guys are doing full time? Like, talk a little bit more about that shift.
Yeah. So, I mean, first off, when we got stuck with all these rentals, again, some of them were great long-term rentals. The others were super negative cash flow, and we couldn't sustain that because we still, again, we're learning how to fix and flip. It's not like we had all these crazy profitable deals. We were happy at some points that we were just breaking even.
Yeah.
That was like,
a
hallelujah.
win.
We
That
didn't
is a
lose money
win.
on this one,
Oh,
just
yeah.
insanity and gray hair, but it's fine. But we started shopping around of like, okay, how can I force these rentals to cash flow? So we started looking at, okay, should we furnish some of them where the areas make sense and there's a pool? Let's go Airbnb route. Let's figure out midterm rentals. Let's figure out, do some of them make sense for co-living? Are any of them near hospitals where we can maybe do like traveling nurse houses? We had to pivot, but then when we would talk about, we would ask around our local community, like, does anybody know how to manage this? Or does anybody know how to operate these types of rentals? There was not like a single property management company that could advise you or consult you on all. Like you have your normal, traditional, super archaic way of managing your
Oh my gosh, I
normal
know.
rental.
Yeah.
And then you'd have these like super niched, like Airbnb managers that charged like 30% property management fee, and just like ridiculous, like just crazy prices and crazy. It didn't work for us. Right.
Yep.
And then nobody really knew about co-living at this time. It just wasn't as talked
Thing.
about as it is today.
Right.
And then midterm rentals were like,
Just starting to
Kind
like be
of.
talked about because people were looking for solutions. So we're just like sitting there grasping at straws. And our best friend was a property manager. So we forced him to actually start managing all of our properties and all the different exit strategies that we wanted. And he's like, this
Okay.
isn't what property managers do. He's like, I only focus on long-term rentals. And
You're
I was
like, it is what you do now, homie.
I was like, this is what you should be doing. And then, so that's why we had a conversation with him, probably 6 months later after that, and was like, why don't we just bring this to the market? Everybody else is in the same boat that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Let's bring this to the market. Let's package it up and let's be expert consultants in property management so people can bring their properties to us and we can find the highest and best use and figure out how we can make their properties cash flow, because everyone's lost right now.
Yeah.
So that's how Habu was formed.
That's how Habu Property
Habu
Management was formed. Habu,
was formed.
H-A-B-U, stands for highest and best use property management, because we
good.
manage
So-
all different exit strategies.
When did that actually start from? So timeline, you started
2022.
2022. When did you start Habu? Was it like 1 year later?
Exactly a year later, March of
Wow.
2023.
I just had my first baby and we're like 2 weeks postpartum.
You're like, why
We're
not
like-
start another company?
I was like, there's a gap in the market. We have to take advantage of this.
I was like, I
That's
get
so
it.
good.
So
I mean, but would you say though that was again what has still allowed you to stay in the real estate industry?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you guys are still in when a lot of people left.
Yeah.
A ton of people left. Yeah, I would say that really helped us stay in the real estate industry. Yes, it produced income, but we've transitioned that business to not really taking much income out of it now. We've really just focused on the growth, building out the teams and everything there. But it helped us get through a time where we needed it. And then at that same time, it was all about, okay, let's start ramping up all the fix and flips as well. Let's really focus on just fixing these things up. Like we know that we're doing the right thing, at least from the first year. We learned a lot of lessons. We lost a lot of money, but at least we can keep going from there now because we've learned how to navigate that entire market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys would say the focus that you're on right now in the marketplace is fix and flip, active income, building the property management company, and just cherry picking rentals. Is that what it is?
Well, and even now, like cherry picking would be nice. The reality of the market is like, we're still in that place where sometimes like we'll buy in this like amazing high in demand area, super cute house. We've gotten very, very conservative with our underwriting. You know, we're very specific on our buy box. We've really narrowed it down in regards to like what is in most highest demand in the Phoenix area. And we stick to that. We don't go outside that box. We're extremely conservative with it. And we're still faced with surprises all the time where you think this house is going to go, you know, within a week. And we're going 4 months now and it's still not selling. And, you know, we don't want to drop it so low where we screw other people over and really lower the comps.
Right.
So now we've just really adopted the strategy of everything we underwrite as a fix and flip and as a rental.
Yeah.
Love that.
And
we list everything for sale and for rent at the same exact time.
So smart.
and whatever comes our way, whatever is the best deal, we'll
if it
take
makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
love
we're
that.
still probably selling what, like 70%,
80% of them at least.
70
yeah.
to 80%.
Yeah.
But every, fourth or fifth house, we're not necessarily cherry picking, but if it's starting to sit stale,
We'll keep it for a year or two.
we'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
let's refinance it, keep it, sit on it for a couple of years. It'll help out with our tax,
Right.
burden anyway.
Yep.
And then try again in a couple of years and see if it sells then. So that's kind of our new
Yeah.
strategy we've pivoted to.
Love that. Yeah, because I mean, I see right now we're in a tough market. Like it's tough, right? It's an interesting one. Like
that's what I was gonna say.
it's a very interesting market because we experience the same thing as you guys, right? Like
Unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll buy a house. It's a home run. Like we're listed perfectly on it. This house is perfect. It should sell. It doesn't sell. 6 months later, it doesn't sell. But this is the crazy thing. We eventually sell it for the price that we listed it for, but it just took that long to find the buyer, right?
Well, and now you're lucky, right? Since it sat so long, are you breaking even? Or are you losing
Because
a
of holding
little?
costs.
Like,
But there are a lot of investors out there that we see in our market where they're getting very scared right away and they start dropping the price, dropping the price, and they're selling. So like one instance, a house that we have basically 2 blocks away, an investor did that. He listed at 1.9. It ended up selling at 1.6. And he hurt us badly on that
tremendously.
comp because he was just freaked out and scared. We ended up selling the house for 1.9.
Yeah.
But it took us a long time
I think
to
it
find
took us
that
like
buyer.
four months. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess it all of that to say is we are in an interesting market. I know a lot of people right now are pulling back. They are retracting. They are scared. They don't know what to do, right? I see you guys doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And we are too. We're leaning in. We're getting very tight and underwriting correctly, but we see this as an opportunity right now.
Yeah.
You know
It
what I
is.
mean?
It's a huge opportunity.
What would you say to the people that are like trying to scared and bouncing out?
Yeah.
So transparently too, I had that moment, that oh shit moment where I was
We
like,
all have.
where it's like, these are all sitting, and we had the same exact situation as you guys, by the way, 2 houses down from a house that we'd fixed and flipped. The first one of the year, they came in $50,000 under us, and they had a pool. We did not. And they had an extra bedroom, and they had 400 extra square feet with the same exact finishes as me. We both got our same tile from Jim Montero, and who I know is on the podcast and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, you mother trucker. I was like, you came through here and you're scared, and you just came through $50K less than me so you could fire sell this thing. And they did.
Yeah.
They sold it in a week.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
still on market. And I'm like, I was not dropping price. I was just staying still. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
For people that are retracting, I had that moment of, oh crap, what should we do? Because we got the news, the data in March where it's like, hey, home sales, have slowed to 2009 levels. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, so at least it's not a me problem. I'm like, this is just a market problem. We're all going through it right now.
Yeah.
So I had those 2 weeks where I was like, I'm not buying anything else until our current inventory sells off, and nothing was under contract. Nothing was, we had 12 listings on at that time. And I was like, not doing it. And then 2 weeks went by and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I was like, what if some of these are losses? I'm like, the only way that I can
How are we
adjust
gonna
them here
cover
is to readjust how I'm underwriting, pivot
Yeah.
into the market,
Yeah.
get them a little bit deeper, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
change my expectations. I don't need to make 40, 50K rips every single house that I'm doing. I
Yeah.
can be okay with a 10 to 20K rip if that's where the market's at right now.
Right.
Right now, the opportunity is, and the way that I'm viewing it is I'm going, now is the chance right now where I can cement myself as the top buyer in Arizona, a top buyer in Arizona, build all the wholesale relationships for the people that are actually going to be staying within the market. So now people are coming directly to me all the time versus getting the text blast. They're just coming directly to me as soon as they lock something up saying, hey, where do you need this? Can you tell me what price you want me to lock this one up at? So that's changed a lot, which has been awesome. I think we bought 6 deals this month alone, and they all
saw
came from
that.
people that were like, where do I need to get this for you?
Get paid, blow time to get paid, time to get paid, blow up like I'm blowing up.